Today what we're going to do is we're going to write linear equations in standard form. It's section 5.4, chapter 6 test. So you'll notice that yesterday we did skill 6A, and today we're going to do 6B. So we're looking at standard form. So it says write two equations in standard form that are equivalent to this. Well, there's a couple of things we need to do first. First of all, we need to know what standard form is. If you remember from yesterday, we had slope-intercept form. And what was that? That's right, y equals mx plus b. Okay, that's slope-intercept form. And you need to know that. That should be like the back of your hand. Okay? Today we're going to look at something that's called standard form. Okay? And again, it's a b line, and it's ax plus by equals c. And what it means is this. X comes first. The A stands for the number in front of X. You got an X, then you have a Y, then you have an equals, and then you have a number. X has to come first. Okay? So if I take a look at the equation they gave me, I have 4x. Does x come first? Yes. And then does y come first? Next? Yes. Then the equals, and then the 12. You see it? So it's already in standard form. What it's asking you to do now is it's asking you to give you two more equations that are equivalent. Equivalent means what? Equal to it. Yeah, equal. Okay, so this is how you're going to do it. You're going to take this equation and you are going to multiply it by a number. And it doesn't matter what, well, it does matter what number you choose, and we'll talk about that. But first of all, I'm going to multiply this by, notice I put parentheses around it, 2. I just chose 2. So 2 times 4 is 8. So I got 8x plus 2 times 2 is 4y equals 2 times 12 is 24. Okay? That is equivalent to the other equation. I just, multiplied all the way through. It's kind of like this. If I have the fraction 1/2, is 2 over 4 equivalent to it? Yeah, it's just reduced, isn't it? This is the same idea. It's just the black one is reduced. Okay? Now, that's one of the equations. I'm going to do another equation. So I'm going to take this same thing, okay, and I'm going to multiply it by another number. I'm going to choose -2. Y, I just am. And we'll talk about y in just a little bit. -2 times 4x is -8x, okay, plus -2 times 2 is -4y equals -24, okay? So here is my other equation. Now, help me out here. I said that the number really doesn't matter what you multiply it by, but it does. What are some numbers that don't work? Like wouldn't change the equation? Yes. 1. If I choose the number 1, it would just be itself, right? So I'm not really doing anything to it. Okay. Could I do number -1? I could do -1 and it would change this. What's another number that wouldn't work? 0. Because what would 0 do?
It would remove your x's and y's.
It would remove everything and wipe it clean, right? And you go, Mrs. Medvick, where are we going to use this? You're going to use this in something called elimination, and it's coming in the next couple of chapters, okay? So this technique I'm going to work on a little bit, and then I'm going to leave it, and then we're going to come back to it later. So make sure you know how to do this. Yeah?
I was wondering,
You could. If I divide it by a number, it's the same thing as multiplying it by 1/2. Yeah, so let's say I take the original one. That's a great question. So if I take the original problem and I want to cut it in half, okay, I can multiply this thing by 1/2. That's the same thing as dividing by 2. So then I get 2x plus y equals 6.
Because if your numbers were really big, you didn't want to make them too much bigger than you know.
That's right. Oh, absolutely. You don't want your numbers too big, and yeah. So again, we're going to use this in something called elimination. So it's common. It's just we're not there yet. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on. We're going to write an equation in standard form. Okay, key is standard form. Okay. Does this look familiar? It does. What did we do yesterday when we got this thing? Yeah.
M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus
Right, we're going to find the slope, aren't we? Yep, yep. So I'm going to go x1, y1, x2, y2. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You're still confused? You hate it because why? That'd be great. You won't forget it. Yeah, that's why I have you do it. Okay? Yep. Alright, so I found my slope, right? That's what I did in the past. Okay, that's why I said yesterday was really, really important because we're going to use it today. Alright, now what am I going to do? Yeah. Very good. So I'm going to pick one of my points. I'm going to pick the first one just because I am. And I'm going to use my m, which is 3, and I'm going to put it in y equals mx plus b. Again, we've done this before. This is easy. So I got my ordered pair x, y, -1. Okay. Now what? What did you do yesterday? Like all of your hands should be up. You're like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. What did we do next? Yeah.
You have to plug the numbers in.
Okay, so I get y equals 3x. We're doing standard form, but first we have to do this. Okay, minus 10. Yep. So I got it in slope intercept form, right? Okay, this is what we've done before, like someone said. We've done this before. I thought it was standard form. Okay, now, in standard form, what came first? The x. Is x first here?
No.
It's not. So how do I get it to the other side? Minus 3x. So I'm going to subtract 3x. So this is the new stuff. This is where we come new. So I get negative 3x plus y equals negative 10. So is my x first?
Yeah.
Then is it my y?
Yeah.
Then is it my equals?
Yeah.
Then is it my number?
Yeah.
Yes, but we're not done yet. Okay? And this is why we're not done. So this is the new stuff, but there are a couple of rules about the line leader. Okay? Number 1. Okay? A can't be a negative number. Okay? So think of it this way. If you're in elementary school, do you want the kid that's always getting into trouble, yelling and screaming at the front of the line? no, you want your best leader, right? Because the teacher's in the back grabbing some stuff, right? And that kid's always with the teacher. So you're going to send your best student forward. It's a positive situation. So if you think of it that way, it's going to help. Another thing is A can't be a fraction or decimal. We don't want it as a fraction or decimal. It's got to be a whole, kid. I don't want a part to it. Okay, so take a look at our A in this situation. Is it positive? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to multiply it by -1. Okay? So -1 times -3 is 3x. -1 times the 1 in front of the y becomes a -y equals -1 times 10 is 10. That's my answer. Because A, my 3, is not negative and it's not a fraction or a decimal. So you're doing exactly what you did yesterday until the very end. Once you get it in y equals mx plus b form, you got to get in the right form and then you got to make sure A is good. It's not hard. It's not hard if you've been doing your work. Can you imagine if you don't know how to do y equals mx plus b? That's not good. Right. That's why it's really important to stay current on your stuff. Okay? All right, and that's it. We're going to do day 2 tomorrow. Day 2 should be pretty easy too. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the assignment done.